Some cars are engineered to go the distance, others, not so much. And then there's a very specific kind, cars that give up before the odometer even reaches 100,000 miles. If you're thinking about buying one, it might be the quickest way to watch your money disappear. In this video, we're going straight to the point. Cars with a track record of poor longevity, high maintenance costs, and disappointing resale value, and exactly why they're like that. Let's start with the Jeep Renegade, a subcompact SUV that's managed to attract buyers with its quirky styling and Jeep badge, but has consistently failed to deliver when it comes to long-term reliability. First introduced in 2015, the Renegade was Jeep's attempt to capitalize on the growing demand for compact crossovers. It stands out visually with boxy proportions, round headlights, and the iconic 7-slot grille, a design that blends urban friendliness with off-road cues. But under that bold exterior lies a platform shared with the Fiat 500X, and that's where the trouble starts. Most Renegades come equipped with either a 1.4-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine or a 2.4-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. On paper, both seem adequate for the size of the vehicle. In practice, they're underwhelming and problematic. The 1.4 turbo in particular is known for excessive oil consumption, premature turbo failure, and a tendency to struggle under load. The 2.4-liter engine, while more common, isn't much better, plagued by cylinder head issues, stalling problems, and rough idle symptoms that often appear before the odometer hits 70,000 miles. Transmission is another sore spot. Jeep fitted the Renegade with a 9-speed automatic transmission developed by ZF, which sounds advanced until it starts misbehaving. Owners frequently report hard shifts, gear hunting, and full-on transmission failures well before 100,000 miles. Replacing or even repairing it is expensive, and out-of-warranty costs can quickly exceed the car's residual value. Fuel economy estimates from the EPA place the Renegade at about 24 miles per gallon in the city and 31 on the highway for front-wheel drive models. All-wheel drive versions do slightly worse, averaging around 22 in the city and 29 on the highway. However, real-world numbers tend to fall short due to the engine's inefficiency and the transmission's awkward behavior. Inside, the Renegade offers a playful cabin design with a unique layout, Jeep branding details, and user-friendly controls. Base trims include a touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, a rear-view camera, and basic safety features. Higher trims like the Limited and Trailhawk bring heated seats, leather upholstery, and enhanced off-road capabilities, though few owners ever use them. The problem is durability. Cabin materials wear out fast, electronics often glitch, and build quality varies wildly from one unit to another. Market perception has shifted in recent years. Early on, the Renegade saw decent sales thanks to aggressive pricing and trendy styling. But now, resale values have dropped significantly, and its reputation for reliability is among the worst in its class. For used car buyers, it might look like an affordable way into the Jeep lifestyle, but in reality, it's often a money pit that struggles to reach 100,000 miles without major mechanical issues. Now let's talk about the BMW X3, a compact luxury SUV that makes a strong first impression but often fails to go the distance, especially when it comes to long-term ownership beyond the warranty period. At first glance, the X3 checks every box: sleek design, premium badge, driver-focused, dynamics, and a high-end interior that looks and feels upscale. It carries BMW's signature styling cues: the kidney grille, aggressive headlights, and a well-proportioned body that gives it an athletic, yet refined road presence. Inside, it's everything you'd expect from a German luxury vehicle: soft touch, materials, supportive seats, crisp infotainment graphics, and a clean, minimalist layout. But beneath that polished image, the X3, particularly models from the second generation, built between 2011 and 2017, suffers from several mechanical and electronic weak points that can cost owners thousands of dollars before the vehicle ever sees 100,000 miles. The most commonly sold variants came with either a 2.0-liter turbocharged inline-4 or a 3.0-liter turbocharged inline-6. The four-cylinder, known internally as the N20, has a reputation for timing chain failures, oil leaks, and issues with the turbocharger cooling system. The inline-6, the beloved N55, delivers great power and smoothness, but it's equally vulnerable to high-pressure fuel pump failures, valve cover gasket leaks, and water pump issues. These aren't minor concerns. Many of these components fail well before reaching 100,000 miles, and repairs often exceed several $1,000s. Fuel economy for the four-cylinder models is rated around 22 miles per gallon in the city and 29 on the highway. The six-cylinder options fare slightly worse, with averages closer to 21 in the city and 27 on the highway. In real-world driving, these numbers are rarely achieved, especially as the engine's age and efficiency drops due to mechanical wear. Transmission-wise, the ZF 8-speed automatic is actually one of the more reliable components in the X3. But even here, issues can arise, particularly if the transmission fluid isn't serviced regularly, despite BMW's long-standing claim of lifetime fill, which experienced owners now know to be anything but. In terms of trims, the X3 has ranged from the basic S-Drive and X-Drive 28i models to the more performance-oriented X-Drive 35i and later the M40i. While these offer more power and driving excitement, they also come loaded with more tech, adaptive suspension, active steering, and complex cooling systems, all of which bring greater risk for long-term problems. And if you're eyeing the full M model, be prepared for sky-high maintenance and repair costs once it's out of warranty. The used market hasn't been kind to the X3 either. While it retains decent value during its first few years, resale drops sharply once it crosses the 70,000-mile mark. That's largely because independent shops often shy away from these engines, and dealership repairs come at a steep premium. For the average buyer, what starts as a tempting entry into the world of luxury SUVs often turns into a stressful ownership experience filled with warning lights, unexpected repairs, and costly diagnostics. In short, the BMW X3 offers a luxurious and engaging drive when new, but it's one of those vehicles that frequently struggles to make it to 100,000 miles without serious and expensive mechanical intervention. Next up is the Nissan Sentra, a name that once stood for affordable dependability, but in recent years has struggled with serious quality control issues, weak powertrains, and reliability concerns that make it a risky choice if you're hoping to own a car that will last beyond 100,000 miles. At a glance, the Sentra seems like a safe, no-nonsense, compact sedan. Its latest generation, launched in 2020, brought a much-needed design refresh. The body looks sharper, more refined, and even a bit sporty from some angles. LED headlights, a floating roofline design, and available alloy wheels give it visual appeal that past models severely lacked. Inside, it impresses with a cleaner dashboard, available leatherette upholstery, and an infotainment system that includes Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, even in mid-level trims. But don't let the surface fool you. Under the hood, nearly all. Recent Sentras come equipped with a 2.0-liter naturally aspirated four-cylinder engine paired with a continuously variable transmission, or CVT. And that's where things start to fall apart. Nissan's CVTs, especially those produced in the last decade, are among the most failure-prone in the industry. Owners frequently report early transmission issues, including shuddering, slipping, and total failure, sometimes before the car even reaches 60,000 miles. Repairing or replacing these transmissions isn't cheap, and once the vehicle is out of warranty, the repair costs often exceed the value of the car. Fuel economy is one of the few bright spots, rated at 29 miles per gallon in the city and 39 on the highway, but again, that's under ideal conditions. Once the CVT starts slipping or the engine begins showing signs of wear, those numbers quickly drop. And because the car lacks a turbocharged or hybrid option, its efficiency comes solely from keeping engine load low. something that's not always easy when the transmission is working against you. Another issue is build quality. The Sentra may look upscale from a distance, but owners report a wide range of durability issues, from premature wear on seat fabric and interior plastics to rattling doors, misaligned trim, and persistent electrical gremlins. Power window regulators fail often. Sensors misfire. Infotainment units freeze. These are not isolated incidents. They're patterns that show up consistently across ownership reports and mechanic assessments. Available trims include the base, S, the SV, and the SR. The SR adds cosmetic upgrades like larger wheels, a sportier front end, and additional driver assistance features, but none of these trims offer a true performance or premium variant. And while Nissan has loaded even the base model with decent tech on paper, the long-term reliability of those features is questionable. On the used market, Sentras can be found at appealing prices, and that's part of the problem. Many were purchased by rental fleets and commuters looking for low monthly payments, which means they're often poorly maintained or heavily used. Combine that with a powertrain that struggles to survive beyond 100,000 miles, and you get a car that's far more likely to cost you money in repairs than it's worth in retained value. In summary, the Nissan Sentra looks like a budget-friendly sedan with solid fuel economy and decent tech. But under the surface, it's a car, plagued by fragile transmissions, inconsistent quality, and a short operational lifespan that makes it a poor long-term investment. Now let's get into the Range Rover, a name synonymous with luxury, prestige, and off-road capability. But beneath that premium image lies a track record of mechanical complexity, sky-high maintenance costs, and some of the worst reliability scores in the entire SUV segment. If there's one vehicle that looks like it should last forever, but statistically won't even make it comfortably past 100,000 miles, it's the Range Rover. Let's clarify something first. We're talking here about the full-size Range Rover, particularly models from around 2013 through 2019, which flood the used market today. Visually, they're stunning. Clean lines, a floating roof, flush door handles, and that unmistakable grille. It's a vehicle designed to impress whether it's parked at a country club or crawling over rocks. The interior is even more striking, offering some of the finest materials in the class. Real wood trim, soft-touch leather everywhere, digital instrument clusters, panoramic sunroofs, and dual touchscreen infotainment systems. But the problems start quickly once ownership begins. These models come with several engine options: a 3.0-liter supercharged V6, a 5.0-liter supercharged V8, and in some markets, a turbo diesel V6. Regardless of which engine you choose, the pattern remains the same. Expensive components that fail early and often. Timing chain issues, coolant leaks, air suspension failures, transmission malfunctions, and constant electrical problems are common even before 70,000 miles. And with so much of the vehicle's functionality controlled through complex electronics, even a minor glitch can disable critical systems. The air suspension system is a perfect example. It offers a cushy ride and adjustable ground clearance, but it's notorious for failure. Once it starts to go, owners face thousands of dollars in repairs just to keep the vehicle level and drivable. Electrical gremlins are another persistent issue. From infotainment freezes to warning light overloads and phantom check engine lights that require deep diagnostics to clear. Fuel economy is exactly what you'd expect for a vehicle that weighs well over 5,000 pounds. The V6 models average around 17 miles per gallon in the city and 23 on the highway, while the V8 variants drop closer to 14 and 19 respectively. That's if everything's working properly. Once sensors and fuel system components begin to fail, efficiency plummets, and repairs become both frequent and costly. Trim levels range from the base model to the HSE, Autobiography, and SV Autobiography, all of which bring higher levels of tech, comfort, and price. But ironically, the more you spend on a Range Rover, the more complex and failure-prone it becomes. Features like massaging seats, power-deployable steps, multi-zone climate systems, and adaptive drive modes all sound great in a brochure, but they're exactly the systems that tend to break first. On the resale front, Range Rovers depreciate faster than nearly any other luxury SUV. After just a few years, it's not uncommon to see models that cost over $100,000. New being sold for less than $30,000? And there's a reason. Smart buyers know that the repair bills can rival exotic sports cars, and out-of-warranty ownership becomes a gamble most aren't willing to take. In the end, the Range Rover delivers a phenomenal experience when it's working. But getting one past 100,000 miles without a string of major repairs is rare. It's a vehicle that demands deep pockets, not just to buy, but to keep on the road. Now let's talk about the Chevy Malibu, a mid-size sedan that once aimed to go head-to-head with class leaders like the Toyota Camry and Honda Accord. But while it offers a sleek design and competitive pricing, its long-term reliability and drivetrain choices have made it a questionable investment for anyone hoping to own it beyond the 100,000-mile mark. The modern Malibu, specifically, the 9th generation introduced in 2016, arrived with bold intentions. It's a good-looking car, especially for the segment. The sculpted body, wide grille, and fastback-style rear give it a more upscale and aerodynamic profile than previous generations. Inside, it feels spacious and modern, with an intuitive infotainment system, smartphone integration as standard in most trims, and available features like heated seats, a premium Bose audio system, and advanced safety tech like forward collision alert and lane keep assist. But under all that, polish is a car that struggles mechanically, especially in its base configurations. Most Malibus from this generation come equipped with a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine mated to a continuously variable transmission, or CVT. On paper, it makes decent power and delivers good fuel economy, rated at 29 miles per gallon in the city and 36 on the highway. But in practice, this powertrain has proven to be one of the car's weakest links. The engine itself suffers from carbon buildup, excessive oil consumption, and timing chain issues, especially when not meticulously maintained. And the CVT? It's notorious for poor shift quality, slipping under load, and full failure often occurring before the car even approaches 100,000 miles. While GM has made some updates over the years, the problems persist, and owners often find themselves dealing with costly repairs that quickly erase any savings from the car's low initial price. For those who opted for the 2.0-liter turbocharged engine paired with a traditional 9-speed automatic transmission, available in higher trims like the Premier, performance is noticeably better, but reliability still isn't strong. That engine has had reported problems with fuel injector failure, coolant leaks, and overheating, especially in early production years. And even when the drivetrain is functioning properly, the Malibu just doesn't have the same solid build quality as its Japanese rivals. Interior components rattle, electronics act up, and long-term wear shows faster than expected for a modern sedan. Trims range from the basic L and LS to the more feature-rich LT and Premier. Chevy did include decent tech across the board, but material quality in the lower trims feels cheap, and the long-term durability of components like door seals, infotainment screens, and seat fabrics has proven disappointing. In colder climates, owners report electrical issues related to the Malibu's start-stop system, which can drain the battery or malfunction altogether. When it comes to resale, the Malibu drops fast. Depreciation is steep, especially as reliability concerns become widely known in the used market. While you can pick one up for relatively little money, odds are that cost savings will be short-lived once the repair bills start stacking up. Ultimately, the Chevy Malibu is a car that looks sharp and offers strong features for the price. But beneath that surface is a fragile powertrain, inconsistent build quality, and a troubling reliability record that makes it one of the least advisable sedans for anyone expecting to cross the 100,000-mile threshold without major issues.